The Mahatma, an icon with flaws. Mahatma Gandhi, the father of India, is revered globally as a symbol of peace and non-violence. His tireless fight for India's independence from British rule using non-violent resistance inspired millions and continues to resonate today. However, behind the iconic image of the Mahatma, there lies a more intricate and, at times, troubling reality. While advocating for equality and justice, Gandhi grappled with personal biases and contradictions that continue to fuel debate. This essay delves into the lesser-known aspects of Gandhi's life and legacy, revealing a more complex and human figure than the one often portrayed. By examining his early controversies in South Africa, his stance on the caste system, his controversial personal practices, and his role during the partition of India, we can begin to understand the multifaceted nature of Gandhi's impact on the world. Gandhi's life was a journey of constant evolution, marked by experiments with truth and a relentless pursuit of self-improvement. He readily admitted his flaws and acknowledged the inconsistencies in his own beliefs and actions. This willingness to confront his own shortcomings makes his story all the more compelling and his legacy all the more enduring. By examining the darker aspects of his life, we can gain a more nuanced understanding of the man behind the myth and appreciate the full complexity of his contributions to history. Early controversies. Gandhi's time in South Africa. Gandhi's 21 years in South Africa were formative, shaping his philosophy of satyagraha, or non-violent resistance. It was here, however, that some of his early views sparked controversy, particularly his attitude towards black Africans. Gandhi, arriving in South Africa as a young lawyer, faced rampant discrimination under the apartheid regime. While he vehemently opposed this injustice, his activism initially focused on securing rights for the Indian community, sometimes at the expense of recognizing the plight of black Africans. Gandhi's writings and speeches from this period reveal a hierarchical view of race, with him placing Indians above black Africans. He often referred to black Africans using derogatory terms common in the colonial lexicon, reflecting the prevalent prejudices of the time. While he later modified his views and acknowledged the equal suffering of all oppressed groups under colonialism, his early pronouncements remain a source of contention. Critics argue that these early statements expose a deep-seated bias that continued to influence his actions and philosophy. His supporters, however, point to his evolving understanding of race relations and his eventual recognition of the shared struggle against colonial oppression. They emphasize his later efforts to bridge the divide between Indians and black Africans in South Africa, working towards a more inclusive vision of liberation. Gandhi's time in South Africa remains a point of debate, highlighting the complexities of his engagement with racial equality and the evolution of his thinking on this critical issue. Caste and untouchability, a legacy of mixed messages. Gandhi's stance on the caste system, a deeply entrenched social hierarchy in India, reveals further complexities within his philosophy. He condemned untouchability, the practice of ostracizing and discriminating against Dalits, the community considered outcast within the Hindu social order. Gandhi considered untouchability a moral abomination and tirelessly campaigned for the rights of Dalits, advocating for their integration into mainstream society. He even coined the term Harijan, meaning children of God, to refer to Dalits, aiming to emphasize their inherent dignity and equality. However, Gandhi's approach to caste remained controversial, particularly his views on the Varna system, the broader framework of social stratification within Hinduism. While opposing untouchability, he believed in the importance of maintaining the Varna system, arguing that it promoted social harmony by assigning specific duties to different groups. This stance drew criticism from Dalit leaders like Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who argued that Gandhi's acceptance of the Varna system perpetuated the very hierarchies that enabled untouchability to thrive. Ambedkar believed that true equality required dismantling the entire caste structure, not just addressing its most extreme manifestation. Gandhi's efforts to improve the lives of Dalits, while significant, were often seen as paternalistic and insufficient by Dalit activists. They argued that his focus on moral reform within Hinduism failed to address the systemic discrimination and violence faced by Dalits. Gandhi's legacy on caste remains a subject of debate, with some praising his efforts to eradicate untouchability and others criticizing his acceptance of the Varna system as perpetuating the inequalities he sought to dismantle.